Good afternoon. Welcome, bienvenue in Willkommen. Welcome to our home in Mila. As many of you remain safe with your families in your home during these challenging times we face, we want to ensure that we're here for you. You, our customers, have continued to reach out to us with questions about products that are in your home already or products that you're actually interested in buying. Through Mila Live, we hope to be able to answer all these questions for you. Pour ceux d'entre vous qui ont demandé d'avoir des sessions de Mila Live en français, vous pouvez regarder maintenant sur YouTube. Mila Live is completely interactive. If you're watching us through your YouTube account, be sure to log in and you can leave your questions in the comments section. If you're watching us on Mila Live, just be sure to register with us and you can leave your questions in the comments section there. For this particular session today, be sure to register on Mila Live as you're watching, as we will have a special offer at the end to share with you, but it's for those viewers that have actually registered with us. As all of us continue to cook more and more at home over the past weeks, where we have been practicing safe social distancing, we thought we'd share with you today a very special topic to us and a very special product for us, is what we call the Mila Culinary Center. And with that, I have our product expert, Mike, here with us. Good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon, Kelly.
The Mila Culinary Center.
Yeah, I have a theory why you called it the Culinary Center, Kelly.
Okay.
You ready?
Go ahead.
It's the culmination of all things needed to produce amazing results in your kitchen. And really, I think the pinnacle in our cooking lineup here at Mila Canada. Pop quiz, Kelly.
Oh. Okay.
All right, you ready?
Go ahead.
You were involved in this product right from development stage, so it's an easy one. When did we launch Range?
Oh, jeez, Mike. 2000 and... Oh, now you really tested
Okay,
me.
it was 2015. Time flies when we're having fun.
It does.
But we did launch this product here in Canada for the first time in 2015. But before that, Mila has been building ovens and cooktops in various formats for a long, long time. With this particular form factor, though, because of our European roots, the European market, the rest of the world doesn't really gravitate towards this style of cooking, but here in North America, it is the focal point in many, many kitchens. So after many years of clamoring and begging our parents in Germany to get this product, we developed this. And after about a decade's worth of development, we were finally able to launch this in the Canadian marketplace. Since then, we've come out with our Dash 2 versions. So for those of you following along on Mila.ca, you'll see all our ranges typically end in Dash 2 currently, and that is a denotation of a midstream lineup change. And so we've made some added advances in this particular segment. And that'll continue because with Mila, obviously our key fundamental underlying motto is, as a company, to always be improving. And such is the case here, even with this quote unquote relatively new product in our lineup. Now, we actually hand build and hand assemble each and every one of our ranges, and the Culinary Center is no exception. Just to kind of put things into perspective, this particular range weighs upwards of over 500 pounds. And so what does that mean? It's overweight probably, but no, it's actually denoting exactly how many things are actually embedded within this range that you won't actually see. But some of the things that we do see that are heavyweight and professional are its appearance. You'll see right off the bat that this is denoting an aesthetic that lends itself to a professional style approach to cooking that we like to see in Range product, especially here in North America. So you see these bold cast iron grates, big gas burners, charbroiler on this particular Range, these front-facing heavy-duty knobs, and these big handles in stainless steel. We'll talk about more of some of these design elements, but it's quite obvious at first glance even that this range looks purposeful in its design, but also modern, sophisticated, and you're able to integrate this into your dream kitchen quite nicely.
And that's what I was going to say, Mike, was, having been involved in this product development from the beginning of this project, I think one thing is, yes, we wanted to design a product that fit into the North American market, but on the flip side, and I'm sure you'll go through it as we go through the design elements, there are certain key design elements that really remain very much consistent with the fleet or family design that we call within the Miele family of other products that we have.
Right. Our fleet design is the key element when we were coming to market with this particular product, because we didn't want a product that stood on its own. Certainly a culinary center in the middle of your kitchen would do wonders and immediately improve your circumstances in cooking and culinary arts. But the design elements that we've borrowed from our other built-in cooking lineup really kind of stand out in this particular appliance. Some elements like the control panels with embedded M-Touch design on the touch to glass interface. A lot of you may already have M-Touch in your homes, in your coffee systems, speed ovens, steam ovens. And so that fleet design carries across to our front-facing controls on our culinary center. The bullnose on this particular, now it's not part of fleet design, but it's certainly part of designing an integration into the kitchen. So you can integrate this bullnose with the standard size countertops that are available in the marketplace, so that this essentially would slide right in to a really nice kind of clean contemporary style kitchen.
Mike, maybe you could just talk briefly, because typically with the range, to get that fully flush integration with countertops is difficult due to the way that actually the heat vents out of ranges. So maybe you could explain a little bit why with the Miele range we're able to actually achieve that.
Yeah, so we vent from the front of the appliance itself, and at times with our all gas ranges up through the back. So there's no actual space tolerances required between adjoining cabinetry down below. So this makes this as integratable, if that's a word, as any range in the marketplace, I would say. The other cool thing when we're talking about venting, this range, when the ovens are on, is typically moving a lot of air. Especially on a self-clean program where you're exhausting air into your home. But the fronts of the ovens will always remain cool to the touch. This is an important factor. They're really well insulated and layered so that the outside of the oven will never really heat up to the point where they're dangerously hot, which is sometimes the case we find, especially in some self-clean programs. Now, let's take a closer look at this particular range. This is our HR 1955-2 G, if we're really getting down to it. Now, it's HR is a denotation of the range lineup. The 1950s are our 48-inch culinary centers. And then we have versions with 8 independent cooking zones or burners, gas burners, and we'll talk about those in a minute. The version that we see here, like I mentioned earlier, is the 1955 version with a charbroiler or indoor grill, if you will, in lieu of 2 additional burners. So we're down to 6 burners plus an indoor grill, which is amazing for 365 days a year barbecuing. Now, this is a really high output grill, and I think my colleague Marilyn will be talking about this a little bit later today on our 5 o'clock Eastern Miele Live session. Amazing piece, but the burners themselves here are really great at 2 things that people look for in range product, and that is really high heat output on the top end for bringing water to a boil, for example. And so these burners at 19,500 BTUs of output are no exception on that side of the performance scale. But also when judging a range, it's important not to get caught up in that race of BTU output. It's also important on the low side of the spectrum. So if you're simmering a stew or braising meats over long periods of time or working with delicate sauces, it's really important that your range be able to output at really low heat levels because you don't want to overcook your stews or elements that really do really well at low temperatures over long periods of time. That's really when your ingredients start to shake hands and interact and really produce the amazing aroma and flavors, right? So low simmers at this particular level of our cooking lineup, we're able to get down to about 690 BTUs on the low side. And that's roughly about 100 Fahrenheit as far as actual heat output as well. So amazing on the low side. And we're able to do that through our dual stack burners. And I'm just gonna reach in here and actually lift our cast iron grates out of position. And they're obviously quite heavy. They are cast iron. And the great thing about these things is cleaning them is quite nice in a Miele dishwasher. So you can fit these in the bottom basket and run a cast iron grates program in some of our dishwashers or pots and pans cycle using some Miele Care Collection tabs and really get out any baked on or heated on materials from your cast iron grates. The surface here is black. It's a porcelain enameled coating and will look good over time with even heavy usage. And this is a sealed burner configuration. And now, why is that important? It means that even if you have a boil over, your contents from your pot will spill over and settle here in this cavity and not funnel down towards the innards of the machine, which is important for long-term endurance. So the caps themselves are also cast iron, and the burners themselves are dual stack design. So you can get really low, 700 BTU, and really high on the high output side.
And Mike, just when we talk about really low, because I love one of the demonstrations you do to kind of make it more easy for consumers to understand when we talk really low simmering sauces and soups and stews, but melting chocolate, which you typically will have to do over a double boiler in a traditional, you're able to do that directly on a pan on the heat. Yeah.
That's a demonstration that we like to, it's pretty simple, but if I'm short on chocolate chips, one of the demonstrations I like to use on our ultra low simmer burners is before we transition to paper or plastic money, paper money, you put a $20 note on your burner and turn on your burner even at its lowest setting, and you'd be able to warm the bottom of that $20 bill, but you wouldn't necessarily cause it to combust, which is also a nice visual, if you will. Now, so this particular setup with the grill is also available with, instead of this charbroiler, a griddle or teppanyaki section, or contact grill as some people call it. We here call it a griddle. It's a thermostatically controlled, super precise, high heat output contact grill, great for breakfast, great for searing pancakes, French toast, keeping food warm even, a really good contact surface. So instead of this grill, you can opt for the griddle component. Now, from a pricing perspective, because as we move from the cooking surface down to the bottom of the culinary center, not much is going to change down here. But from a pricing perspective, our ranges with 8 burners start at $29.99. And then when you opt for the grill version or the griddle version, you basically add $1,000 to the price point. Keep in mind that when you purchase a grill or griddle range or culinary center, you're going to get a cover for this to keep your range obviously looking tip-top when not in use. Okay, so we've talked about the top, we've talked about price. This is our 48-inch range, the culinary center, and from the front of it you'll notice that there's a control panel and 2 doors that are obvious to us. But before we get down and talk about this, I just want to talk about the front of this appliance. We have these beautifully crafted cast knobs that when turned will light up with this LED light to denote that the actual burner would be on. Now we hear that clicking, that's the igniter that's looking for a flame that obviously will not be produced because this is in demo mode here. But all of our front-facing burner controls or knobs are backlit with this LED light profile that is, number one, looking really nice and sharp, but number two, from a safety perspective, also giving you a clue that you may have left a burner on at even a low output, so to maybe take care of that.
And I think those little design elements, Mike, as simple as they may seem from a visually appealing perspective, I think that's where Miele really has always differentiated ourselves in the fact that every design element has a function. And really safety is a key one in the case of a range.
Right.
And that's why that was kind of designed in. So
Yeah. We were talking about the weight of the range and some of the things, the cast iron grates,
Yeah.
really robust material in the grill, but the actual cast knobs themselves, if you pull these out, are attached to a long shaft, providing excellent precision and control for the burners themselves. So yeah, they look amazing, but they also perform really well, which is always the balance that we're trying to strike at Miele, which is produce great looking appliances that you're happy to look at day after day, that will look good today as they will in 20 years, but also perform at a really, really high level. Now that we move down to the front of this range, I just want to point to the fact that the front-facing surfaces below the bullnose on this range are coated in clean touch enamel, so basically making it resistant to fingerprints. The handles themselves are really nice and harken to our contour line handles in the rest of our cooking lineup. So these contour line handles also swivel, providing you with excellent kind of haptic feedback as you open both this oven here and its companion oven on the side. So really nice feel. They spring back into position when you release them. And like I said earlier, they are very reminiscent of our contour line cooking appliances. So if you wanted to add to your complement of ovens, you could match this up with our contour lineup. Now, really a handy spot for putting your tea towels as well. But if I'm viewing this range from my height, I just want to point to the fact that we have a motorized fascia panel that when I touch on this glass, and this is touch to glass technology, so there are no real buttons, but when I press lift panel, this motorized fascia panel comes up and meets my eyes, and I'm able to quite easily, without having to bend over and look at the right angle, to be able to control my ovens. And of course, with two control panels, there's a hint here with two doors. We're looking at an oven or a range with two individual ovens on the front when I look at this. Now, this oven is not just your regular wall oven that's embedded in a range. This is a Miele integrated speed oven. Now, this is a really big volume seller in our lineup on its own. So the Miele speed oven is famous for its versatility, speed, performance, function, because it is a combination oven. It is a convection oven in the truest sense of the word. So anything you're able to do in a large oven, you're able to do here probably more quickly because of its size. But it is fully fledged with bake element down below, broil element up top, and a convection element with fan in the back. So this is an electric oven, and I just want to point out the fact that this is a dual fuel range. Why is that important, Kelly?
Well, it's important to know that obviously dual fuel being that the top being driven by gas as a fuel type, and then obviously electric running the oven types.
Right, because when people are shopping for ranges, they'll be confronted with all gas or dual fuel or induction or electric. This happens to be dual fuel, where you have big gas range top surface, and then the ovens themselves are heated electrically with electrical elements, which is great if you're into baking, because I think nothing produces an even heat like the best electric elements like we have in both this speed oven and the big oven off to the right here. So this is a dual fuel range. In this particular case, we have a gas version, and that is all when you go with a barbecue version of the Culinary Center. But if you go with a griddle version or all burner configuration, you can get liquid propane, which is important for people who don't have natural gas delivered to their home. So this is a speed oven, magnificent, good for cooking meals for people up to 6 people. You can get a 15-pound turkey in here. You get this really nice universal glass shelf. But let's face it, you need a microwave in your house because everyone loves popcorn. I'm no exception. And on the outside of this control panel, we have a popcorn button. Why did we put a popcorn button here, Kelly?
Because maybe that oven is more than just an oven, Mike.
It's a microwave as well. So it combines the ability to cook conventionally, but also add microwave to pulse on so that you're speeding up cook times. But if you just want to pop popcorn, we've conveniently added a popcorn button to the outside of the oven, and you can program some time to that, but just put in your favorite bagged popcorn, hit your popcorn button, walk away, and come back when the speed oven reminds you it's time. So just keep that in mind. It's a microwave, it's a fully fledged convection oven, but also a combination of the two with a roast probe and all. So if even you want to make a beef tenderloin, you're able to do that here and maybe roast your potatoes and veggies in the other oven off to the side, or vice versa. So
Well,
really
and
nice.
I think what's great about, because I think, like you said, everybody still has this desire for a microwave in the home, but I think people are trying to avoid so many things to clutter on the counter. And I think really we've built it in to now take one more element off the counter for people.
Right. Just a reminder that this is a clean touch oven inside. Stainless steel interior, it is not self-clean. The companion oven off to the side here is. And so I'm going to open up that one and just point out some of the features on this oven here. Now this control panel here would control this oven here on the side. Now when I open it up, I just want to point to the fact that you have a soft close function, giving you a really nice high quality feel in the hand. Also a soft opening as well. And inside, it's a beautiful, well-lit oven compartment with super even heat, rapid preheat functions. Everything you're used to in a high quality Miele oven, you're gonna find in this particular oven. Full telescopic racks that come right out with full extension. And you get 2 of these with the Culinary Center. And you also get a selection of roasting pans and baking sheet as well, not shown here in this particular oven, but also a second telescopic rack. And you have 5 positions by which you can place these racks independent from one another. Now this is a full pyrolytic oven. Pyrolytic, big mouthful. What does that mean, Kelly?
Cleaning.
Yeah.
Well, meaning it can take high heat.
Yes. So the racks themselves, when you're on a self-clean, which is really going to be carbonizing any baked on proteins or greases in the oven compartment, you can actually leave the racks in this oven, in the actual oven, while you're doing that self-clean function.
And I think that's one of the greatest development features we've really developed for not just this oven, but our 30-inch ovens or our other convection ovens as well. Is not, you don't have that hassle of having to take out the rails, the racks.
Right. Which leads to more frequent cleaning because it's so much more convenient and
better performance.
Better performance, right. The other thing that I'll point to with our pyrolytic ovens that are a little known fact, but we actually are catalyzing the room air as it is exhausted into your home again. So we're actively trying to neutralize odors so that you don't kill the canary. Okay. So beautiful oven. I just want to point to one other feature or 2 other features really quickly. Number 1. Wireless roast probe. So embedded in the side position of this compartment here, we'll talk about in a minute, is a roast probe. Why is this important? It's wireless, number one, which is a cool feature. It's not going to get hung up on anything when you're pulling out your protein. So you can position that quite easily and get super accurate internal temperature from your protein. So your beef tenderloin is your chicken, your poultry, your duck. For sure with chicken you want to get that internal temperature. Pork. This is going to give you accurate internal readings so that you don't overcook and you don't undercook. So amazing results when you're using the wireless roast probe. And the other feature I wanted to mention is Moisture Plus. So with this oven in our culinary center, it's an excellent baker's oven. So you're able to produce the most amazing breads. And I'll just show you here in our control panel here. I'm going to go to Gourmet Center and I'm going to go to MasterChef Plus. And this oven has over 100 preset programs that are going to basically guide you down the path to amazing results. In this case here, I'll select MasterChef Plus, go to our breads program, and we get a number of different bread programs. And everyone's baking these days. The amount and the quality of bread that you're able to replicate in this oven is amazing.
Because really to get, for professional bakers that do bread baking, to get that crust, I think that we all love, you need that bit of moisture to get that crunchy, crispy crust.
The crust is super important, nicely golden on the outside, but inside also nice loose texture, airy bread. And professionals in bakeries, when you're baking bread, little known fact here, but they're oftentimes hooked up to water connections.
Right.
And so this oven and range is no exception. It is connected to water for the use of these programs, but not just in bread programs, but also for the roasting of meats and proteins as well to get amazing results. And so MasterChef is this coach that basically sits on your shoulder and guides you down that path to amazing results. So you get restaurant quality results in your kitchen from this beautiful Miele oven. Now, timer functions are really simple here. You can set an alarm if you wish on this control panel. So if I want to set an alarm to wake up early to go hopefully golfing this weekend, I can set that up on my range. Or if I'm proofing dough and I need to set a timer, I can do that as well. So if I want to set a timer time, very easy. You can scroll through the numbers, but also, little known fact here, but you can bring up a keypad that will allow you to add minutes, seconds as needed. And so you can set up an alarm here, a timer here, and on this particular control panel on this side, also do the same. So really, no need to set up a timer anywhere else in the home other than on your control panels on the front of your culinary center.
So Mike, I know there's one last compartment. You alluded to it a little bit before because obviously the wireless roast probe was inserted into it. So what is that final?
Yeah, it's oftentimes not super well explained, but it's a push to open full extension warming oven. Now I say warming oven, some people will call it a warming drawer, but this is great for a multitude of purposes. For the busy household with multiple schedules, this is great to keep food warm. If you're big into entertaining and your guests are running late, this is a great place to kind of keep your casserole warm. It's also great for warming your crockery. So there's nothing as decadent as sitting at a table, having a beautiful meal prepared, and then doled out onto a plate that's preheated. Really decadent, kind of ultimate as far as entertaining goes. So this is great for that, and also great from a sensory perspective as well.
But we call this the gourmet warming drawer. So
right.
It obviously does more than just warming plates of food.
Yeah, so it's a warming oven. So if you're into low and slow or braising or cooking at low temperatures over long periods of time, you can certainly braise here your proteins, your stews in here over a long period of time at really low temperatures. So you're able to cook at around 105 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 185 degrees Fahrenheit. So If you're into experimenting with that, or if you have a really good recipe that calls for that, this is an amazing place and food safe place for you to be producing those low and slow recipes.
And for those of you that joined us last week, we did some hands-on cooking, and one of the items we used was the warming drawer to make the vegan meringues that I know you tried too when we were testing.
Really
that
surprising.
That, you know, because meringues do need a very, very low heat controlled environment to actually get the best results. And I think they were pretty good.
Yeah, they were amazing. So yeah, this is a warming oven. You can find a use for it, most certainly with its capability and flexibility and integration into the culinary center itself.
So if we just step back for a minute, Mike, and really look at, you know, all the different cooking functions and really why we've come to the name of the culinary center here. We've got the gas cooktop in this case. We've got, in this particular case, we've got the indoor grill, which is great. We have a convection oven. We have Moisture Plus to add to that convection oven.
Right.
We've got the microwave function.
Mm-hmm.
But as you mentioned earlier, we have the combination microwave convection function
Right.
on top. And then we have the gourmet warming drawer.
Right.
Gourmet food warming drawer.
Yeah, that's a pretty all-encompassing, comprehensive, one-stop
Did I mention
shop.
Moisture Plus? I said
You did
Moisture Plus,
mention
okay.
Moisture Plus.
Okay.
And so all of this in one form factor, yeah, it's over 500 pounds, but it is densely packed with the best kind of cooking tools required for you and your home and your family to basically have the restaurant come to you.
Well, yeah, really to do like the holiday dinners and so forth.
Oh
You
my
really
goodness, yeah.
have almost everything you need. You really do have everything you need in order to do, whether it's your turkey or your ham, even some side dishes, soup, sauces,
Right.
dessert,
Yeah.
everything.
And then when it comes time to clean up with self-clean functionality in the big ovens, the up top cast iron grates being able to be washed in your dishwasher, you can disassemble the grill so that you can take that and clean that properly, and the covers as well. So really after use, it is a very livable and usable kitchen appliance, which makes this, I think, like I said earlier, the top of the rung when it comes to all of our cooking lineup.
So, Mike, maybe I'm going to throw a couple questions at you if you don't mind.
Okay.
So Isabel from Toronto out there has a question. So we talked about Moisture Plus. Can Moisture Plus replace steam or be the equivalent of our steam oven?
Yeah, we get that question. This is a good one. So the Moisture Plus, or the hookup to water in this particular situation, does not replace an external steam generator, which is what we use in our steam and combi steam ovens. So in this particular appliance, we do have a heater that heats water and then injects that into the oven itself, but we're not at those high temperatures able to call this a steam oven. It is a burst of steam meant to kind of coat the material inside of the oven, and in some cases bread dough, etc. But yeah, you're not going to replace or be able to achieve the results of externally generated steam that you would see in a Miele purpose-built steam or combi steam oven. So just keep that in mind. It's Moisture Plus. It's an added benefit, but it's not a solo steam oven by any means, or even a combination steam oven.
Okay, thank you for that answer. So next question is coming from Lori. Lori has a question. We talked about the grill and griddle. Are they interchangeable?
Yeah, Lori, unfortunately, the grill and the griddle are not interchangeable. There's nothing to say that you can't purchase as an accessory at some point through your own purveyor of fine kitchen cookware, etc. A griddle plate that could be essentially put on the top of these cast iron grates to achieve a contact grill style of cooking, so you can make your French toast and pancakes, but you need to purchase that hot plate or skillet on the side, and you get pretty amazing results as well. But they are not interchangeable. You would be basically if you go with a grill or a griddle, it's either or, but you can't have both, unfortunately, in the same form factor.
Great. Well, thanks, Mike. I think that has really provided a great overview of really one of our Halo product pieces, being the 48-inch range, the Miele Culinary Center. It really you've provided great insight, hopefully for our viewers, on really everything this could do for them to achieve the best cooking results. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Right.
And having fun doing it.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So Mike, maybe just quickly then, what are some of the offers we have right now available to consumers for the 48-inch range?
Okay, so the offer is currently ongoing for the month of May on this particular range and all of our range products. Correct. Really. We have our Peace of Mind promotion. So with the purchase of any of our range product, you're going to be able to take advantage of free delivery, which in the case of a range is at minimum $300. Yeah. So there's that savings. In addition to this, there is a 30-day money-back Peace of Mind guarantee. So take it into your home, use it, and if you don't like it, you contact us and no questions asked, pick up the appliance. In addition to this, with the purchase of any of our range product, sometimes people will hesitate, oh, you have control panels and things are made to break down. Well, we're giving you a free 5-year warranty with each and every one of our ranges in addition to that offer. So there is that as well. And then there's the opportunity to purchase an additional 5 years if you wish to take the warranty for this range product right up to a decade, which is pretty amazing. Just one point of order, when it comes to our control panel technology, some people will hesitate to go with this, but this is fully developed in-house by us at Miele, and we have our own in-house electronics facility that produces the circuitry in behind all of our control panels. So this is an important element. I just want to point to the fact that all of our appliances are really built with that 20-year lifespan in mind, and the electronics, the control panels here are meant to be operational. They are not disposable like a modern day cell phone where in 3 years you'll toss them to the curb. These control panels will look as good as they do now for upwards of 2 decades. So just keep that in mind.
Perfect. Thanks, Mike. So I want to thank the viewers out there. I also want to send a thank you to some of our retail partners who've actually invited their customers to join us today on Miele Live. So from the west coast of Canada, we have Baker's Appliances, Avenue Appliances, Jerome Appliances, Midland Appliances, and our partners at Trail Appliances. Here in Ontario, we have our partners at Tasco Appliances, Goman's Appliances, and Appliance Canada. And in the East Coast, we have Creative Appliances and Almayer Appliances in Montreal. So amongst all of our retailers, we also want to send a call out to you guys to say thank you for inviting your customers to join us on Miele Live. Hopefully we've been able to answer their questions for them as well. If you are interested in buying Miele products right now, go on Miele.ca and use our agent or dealer locator. You'll be able to find your local Miele retailer, authorized retailer, and find out if they're open. I know across the country businesses are slowly starting to reopen. Certainly in the West Coast, many of our retailers are open, so be sure to use Miele.ca in the agent locator to locate your closest retailer to you. As well, you have Miele.ca that's open 24 hours, 7 days a week, available to you. We have also launched our new virtual sales consultation. So as many of us still are practicing social distancing, we wanted to make sure that we were able to provide the service to you if you're interested in buying the product. So you would be able to go on MieleLive.ca, book a personal virtual two-way video consultation with a product expert like Mike. You may actually get Mike, you never know, who will be able to actually stand in front of the product that you're interested in, open it up, answer any questions you have, demonstrate any of the user interfaces, and actually they'd be able to take the order during that consultation as well. So be sure to look at that on MieleLive.ca. Mike, I think for our viewers specifically for this afternoon, we have a special offer for the range.
Right. So in addition to all the offers we've talked about already, the free delivery, the free 30-day money-back warranty, the 5-year free warranty, in addition to all this, until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on today's date, which is May 15, 2020, for all our registered viewers. So if you've registered, we're going to send you a promotional code so that you can check out. If you purchase any of our range product up until midnight, we're going to be adding to that a free 9-piece Zwilling cookware set. Now this is a really high quality set valued at just under $1,000. So just keep that in mind that we will be adding that as part of the offer until just before midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time. And it's a really nice 9-piece Zwilling set. It's induction ready. It'll work on gas as well. Beautiful set, multi-ply construction, very nice even heat. And yeah, that's a pretty good offer.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's available for any new orders from today up until 11:59 Eastern Standard Time tonight. So I think that's a great offer. So make sure you register before the session ends, because we will be emailing you that code to use for that special offer. So at 5 o'clock today, to round out the rest of this week, Mike talked about the grill on the 48-inch range. So at 5 o'clock today, we're actually going to be doing a live cooking session with our product expert, Marilyn, using the grill on the 48-inch range. So be sure to tune in for that. And very lastly, before we wrap up this session here, we want to share with you a new initiative that Miele Canada launched last week called #MieleDinesLocal. We understand that many of the businesses out there, especially small restaurants, are really struggling through this very unique time we're facing. And we want to try to promote them and help them as much as we can. So follow us on Facebook and Twitter, share. And what this initiative is we're inviting small local restaurants from across the country to submit your signature dish to us. Then we're going to invite you on to actually come and cook with us. In some cases, it will be virtual, depending on where you're located. And then we're actually going to give you the opportunity to cook with us, but also talk about your business, promote your business. And then we're going to buy 100 dishes from you that we will donate to frontline workers out there supporting Canadians across the country. So we're really proud of this initiative. We'd love for you guys to participate. For those of you watching, if you know a restaurant that you would like to share this with, be sure to share with them and have them go to mieleLive.ca to tell us about their signature dish. Very lastly, on behalf of myself, Mike, the entire Miele Canada team here, we want to send our best wishes to all of the frontline workers that are out there right now today, providing the necessary services for Canadians across all communities. We know as businesses again start to reopen, we will continue to face challenges. Try to be safe, practice social distancing, and help these frontline workers out there that are again supporting all of us. So we want to send you all the best. Wishing everybody a fantastic weekend, and we hope to see you again on Miele Live also either at 5 o'clock or next week, where we're actually going to have our first 2 restaurants coming to join us to share their signature dishes. Be sure to visit Miele Live to see the schedule on when they're coming on. Have a great weekend, and thank you.